Hey everybody, welcome to That Horton Life. Today is October 25th, 2025. And this past week, at the beginning of this week, was the 8-year mark of my father's passing. And it's so interesting to me that everything I'm doing now, basically following in his steps. What I mean by that is, back when I was a kid, he was going to school for film, more specifically special effects, and he was pretty good at it. Sorry, Henish. And here we are. Whew. Here we are years later. And I'm following his footsteps. I'm going to film school. I'm going to for cinematography, which is a little different, but still I'm going and learning film like he was. It's crazy how life works out sometimes. You want to do one thing in a certain kind of job, and it gives you something else within the same field. It's so amazing, At the beginning of this year, around I want to say April, I think, something like that, March, April, something like that, I applied to go to this college I'm going to now, the college being Full Sail University, and I should know, and they pretty much accept whoever applies. However, the bright side is the people who graduate from this place have went on to work in some pretty big movies, so I'm pretty excited for that. Something just told me, at the time when I applied for it, something just told me, go and apply. And it's like I couldn't stop my fingers from clicking on a thing and applying, and I understand that I will have that student thing to pay off, but at least it probably wouldn't take me too long to get that paid off. I'm going to put a percentage of what I get from my job in the film industry towards my student loan, paying that off and getting that done away with, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. However, some good news. On a lighter note is what I meant to say. Here at the end of the year, my camera quality will drastically change. And the reason for that is I'm going to be getting a camera. So I will be filming a lot with that. I'll have it set up, behind my laptop here. But, you know, I just wanted to get on here real quick, talk a little bit about, how I'm doing with all this, 8 years later. And, I'm doing good. It wasn't until that next day or the day after when I came across this song that just made me cry. And, ever since then, I'm doing okay. It obviously still hurts, but, I never expected that I wouldn't. For anybody out there who's going through something like that, as of right now, or who's ever gone through that, as well as I do, it's a very tough thing, and it takes a lot. So, with all that being said, I do get my own place, which I don't think will be quite yet. However, all this court stuff, I don't think I've talked about it here on this channel at all. I have a lot of court stuff going on right now, and it's all based around me being accused of something I did not do, and they're trying to get me to take a plea deal. But if I take the plea deal, what I have to do during that will stick with me the rest of my life, which I don't want to take the plea deal because I didn't do anything. And on top of all that, now I have a list of rights that they have violated on me through this whole thing. It's a huge freaking mess. And on top of all that, my public defender I have lied to the judge. It's so much crookedness going on here. And for those of you who know the Colorado justice system, it's very crooked and it's awful. But once all that stuff is done, my mom is planning on selling this house that we've been in for the last 10 years. 10 years ago, 2015, we moved into this house. And this room has gone through so many changes. I'm going to paint this back to white before we leave. That's for sure. This room's going to go back to white. And I'm going to take my light bulbs with me and put in some just standard ones. It's going to be so weird seeing this room empty. It really is. Because that's one of the toughest things. It's going to be saying goodbye to this place. Because this house is where I started my YouTube channel. This channel. Not just this channel, but also my exploring channel. And saying goodbye to it's going to be bittersweet. My most viewed full video, my most viewed video, opening Third Eye video, filmed it in this room, but the bed wasn't the position that you see it in. It was over more over that way, and wow, and it wasn't this kind of bed. It was a wooden frame with a different mattress. And out there was, don't even start how messy it was out there. It's awful. I got this room kind of set up with a background I have, and once I get a bigger room, I'm gonna have a whole corner dedicated to all this, and it'll be better. You know, that day I take everything down out of here and pack everything up. It's gonna be one of those days, you know. And I will be recording. I will be filming for you guys on that day that we officially move out. You know, I will film that whole process for you guys. You know, moving out. Moving into the new house. It's gonna be a whole thing. I'm getting a little sentimental right now. And there's a cat you may have seen in my videos. I'm not sure, I have to go back and look. But the black cat that we've had her for about 10 years as well. You know, because we brought her in 2015. And now she's got this lump on her chest and she's losing weight, and based on all that we can pretty much figure that lump is probably cancerous. She's not doing good, and that's one of the reasons I'm kind of down right now. I'm just really worried about her. Yeah, I love her so much. And to see her go, it'll break my heart, but I know that she'll be just fine. Anyways, enough of the... Oh, sorry. It is late. Let me show you the time real quick. It is 3:01 right now, guys. I'm gonna have to get some sleep soon. It's about 13 minutes. Anyways, I guess with all that being said, thank you all for watching. And yeah, it's crazy to think that my channel has also been around for 10 years. I created my channel back in 2015. This one. But my original channel, which you can't find anymore, I deleted it for some reason. I created that one, I believe 2015, maybe 2014. And anyways, it's hard to say exactly when I created that one, but I've been doing YouTube for 10, 11 years, something like that. And I hardly got anywhere, you know. It's crazy. You know, I hardly got anywhere. But you know, I'm slowly starting to get somewhere now. At the beginning, I still was very amateur and not like this, you know. I've come so far. I've gotten technology and whatnot. You know, honestly, one thing I can say about the whole legal stuff, I want to kind of backtrack to the legal stuff real quick. And that is, you know, they've been dragging this on for about 5 months now. in November, when gets past the 7th, because they have it scheduled past the 7th. At that point, I can schedule for dismissal of charges. Sorry, not schedule. File for dismissal charges. No request. Yeah. But yeah, like I already said, this whole court proceedings just have been nothing but dragging on, nothing happening. And, you know, as it is stated in the constitutional rights, I have my, right to appear before a judge to hear my charges within 48 hours. However, I'm explaining this to you guys because I want you to be filled in on this, and there's a reason why. In the description of this video is a link to a petition. And this petition is to get this case thrown out. Because if my request for one doesn't go through, my petition should hopefully do the trick. And basically it's because, like I said, I have my right to appear before a judge within 48 hours to hear my charges, or whatever charges they had on me. And not once did I hear anything from any judge. As a matter of fact, that first court date I had, nobody knew what I was there for. That is the truth. Nobody knew what I was there for. This whole messed up thing. Now, obviously I'm not going to say what the charges were. Those details are not going to be put out there for you guys. And then on top of everything else, I'm continuing on past that. What I was just saying. But anyways, the detective who was investigating the case, when he questioned me, he said, "Look, I don't believe your story. I don't believe she's lying." And saying that means he has formed beliefs. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of weight I gotta paint over, before we even sell the house. Paint all this white. Anyways, he said, when he said that, he had beliefs formed, which is, basically having a bias in somebody's favor, which, as the law states, is strictly prohibited. They're strictly prohibited on having that. And, well, he didn't just say it once. He said it a total of 5 times. And that's not messed up. I don't know what is. But anyways, on top of all of that, my right to a speedy trial obviously was violated if it's been strung out for what's going to be 6 months. And then, and them having to prove me guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So far, they have not done that. So far, they have not shown anything or presented anything showing that I was either there or involved or you know, anything like that. That's what they're accusing me of. It's a very messed up thing. It's, I don't know. It's very messed up. Anyways, I have enough evidence to go on for them to dismiss all of the charges. And once that happens, I'm going to file for a lawsuit. For defamation of character in violation of my rights. Because they very well violated them. I'm not happy about it. Probably I should just forget about it. But I don't know. I don't feel like I should. I feel... I don't know why, but I feel like I should just do this lawsuit once all this gets done. I don't know why I don't feel any other way about this. It's just how I feel. I'm just... Anyways, if you can't tell, I have ADHD, so easily distracted. Anyhow, it's so hard with everything that's going on in this case, and me having to go to me doing the schooling, as well as volunteering at... Oh, I got the one thing I'm doing today for volunteering. Anyways, the volunteering I'm doing today, as well as the other things I'm doing to keep myself distracted from everything that's currently going on with this whole legal stuff. And the stress from that legal stuff, mixed with everything else, has led me to a few ER visits. Chest pains, back pains, all that stuff that's related to the stress. And it's torturous, It's very torturous. I don't understand it at all. I really don't. But one thing I can say is when my public defender lied to the judge. The DA, from what I heard, the DA was over there shaking his head, and I think that's a good thing. They are doing a competency test, and I find it convenient that they decided to do that once I spoke up. Because, see, my mom's fiance, he's been there for every single case, every single court date, pretty much. Well, every single court date. And, well, the day I finally spoke up and said I want him back there with me, he asked, my public defender asked who he was, and I told him. He's my legal representative. Now, I could be wrong on that. Because I know my public defender is representing me legally, but no, I call him my legal advisor because my public defender, he was not giving, he was not doing any advising, any legal advising at all. Now, as I already said, as you may have heard me say already, how having a bias in somebody's favor is strictly prohibited during an investigation. Well, I contacted him and I explained to him, what the laws state. And you think as a public defender, he should know these laws, right? Well, apparently he doesn't. Because I explained this to him and he's like, well, he's allowed to have a bias. Which, like I already stated, the law states it's prohibited for him to. And that frustrated me, and that kind of, that really shortened that fuse. There's very little of that fuse left when it comes to me having enough with that public defender and getting a new one. There's very little of that fuse left. He just wants to make money. That's the whole thing. I want to get an actual lawyer. I don't want to have all this public defender stuff. They don't do anything good. I'd rather have a lawyer. But anyways, enough of that talk of the legal stuff. When something comes up on it, I will let you know. Because, the courts have signs up on their doors, as you may know. For anybody who lives here in Colorado who's watching my videos, that state no recording devices or anything such as that beyond a certain point. Yet, I could argue and say that the security cameras within the court are technically recording devices. Are they not? Because they are kind of recording always. Anyways, I don't want this video going on too long. It's already going on long enough. I can sit here for a whole hour if I wanted to and just talk away. But I'm going to stop right here. Thank you for watching. Like I said, in the description down below is in the description down below is a petition you can go sign to get this case dropped or get this case thrown out due to all of the violations of my rights and the defamation of my character. All this because some people who used to be part of my family want to get me for some reason. I don't know. And it's not just me. They want to go after multiple people. So, I do want to say at some point, I don't know if it's the next few months or whatnot, but I do know that in one of the coming videos, my background will be different. It's already hit 30 minutes, but that's fine. Anyways. Yeah, background will be different. Last thing I'm going to take out of this room is my desk. It's my desk and chair. You know, because I'm going to set up this computer right here on the desk and record one more video with a blank wall background and I'm going to have it white. Back how it was when it first started. But yeah, I think I want to film where I did my first video right out there in the dining room. You know, just for this place to be just gone, for us to be moving out when that time comes, it's gonna be difficult. But as I once heard in the song, life's about changing. Nothing ever stays the same. I can't remember what song that's from, but you know, let me search up real quick. It's only gonna take me a minute. Life's about changing. Nothing ever stays the same. Life's about changing. Nothing ever stays the same. Oh, so it's from a Patti Loveless song named How Can I Help You Say Goodbye? You know, the song I think I want to use for the day we move out of this house is the song Wherever I Go from Hannah Montana. It was one of the last 2 episodes. Can't remember which episode. It may have been the last episode it was in. Yeah, it was. But it just fits, you know. Made so many videos in this room, and you know, that day that we move out, it's gonna be so surreal. You know, seeing this room empty for the last time. I'll definitely be crying in that video, so stay tuned for that one. Don't worry, it's not gonna be the next video. We're not moving just yet. When we do move, that video will come. I will also live stream it, so So keep an eye out for any live streams or videos about us moving out. You know, King X even started his channel here in this house. You know, I've been running my exploring channel since 2017. And I should have much more videos than I do now, but there was a time where I took a break from it. You know, there was a time where I was uploading every few months instead of, you know, once a week at least. And I did start a gaming channel. It's called Grim Reaper Plays. I didn't like it. And now I have a better name for it, which is Corpse Weaver Gaming. You know, a lot has gone on in my social media life, as well as my real life, as well as this house. You know, so much with this house has gone on. I'm so grateful to have all these years, to have this past decade in this house that we've had. Oh, I always thought the day I'd move out was the day I'd get a job at one film industry somewhere. That was a couple years from now, but I guess it's gonna be sooner than that. And I don't think I'll be living in that house too long. Probably moving out pretty quickly. But it's all the same, you know. It's a thing that whatever happens, how do we leave here, this house? You can be sure that I will be vlogging it. Because the plan that we have, I guess that my mom and my mom's fiance has for this is to get, you know, what she wants is to get a 2-story house instead of 1-story houses like we've been living in. You know, we've been living in 1-story apartments. You know, we would only have like 1 floor for our apartment. It's always been smaller stuff, pretty much our whole lives we lived in. And to have that change from a smaller house to a bigger house would be nice. I mean, really nice. To have a house that's what I would like, you know. It's not what I like, but what I would like for the house is to have like an open concept between the kitchen and living room. I watched a lot of renovation shows with my grandmother when she would watch them, and yeah. Well, I guess that's gonna be it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. And with all that being said, I'll see you all in the next video. Oh, that didn't work. Next video.